Today on the Pro Wrestling with ADHD podcast, I'm going to discuss tonight's mega AEW event, Full Gear. We're going to run down the card. We're going to discuss what I think is going to go on. Also, on top of that, we're briefly going to speak about the presidential election and our new blue president, Joe Biden. Also, on today's podcast, we are going to talk about something that has been going on insanely with Katie's and my relationship personally, and paranormal as well. What has been going on with the paranormal investigating that her and I have done that has what we believe affected some major things in our everyday life. That is today on Wrestling with ADH. What is going on, guys? How is everyone today? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on the podcast, Pro Wrestling with ADHD. I am your host, Soulless Shooter Storm. And today, like I said at the top of the program, we are going to discuss Full Gear tonight. I'm going to run down a little bit of what's going on. It's going to be brief because the pay-per-view does start within about an hour and a half. So by the time I get this done, get it edited, get it uploaded, pay-per-view will probably be coming on shortly thereafter. If you haven't yet ordered the pay-per-view, I suggest you do. All Elite Wrestling, if you haven't been around and haven't been watching, you've been living under a Dwayne Johnson or something like that, then you guys have been missing out. And I honestly, truly believe after watching every single TV, every single pay-per-view they've done, that this is going to be the biggest card of the entire year of 2020, and it is the final pay-per-view of the year for 2020 for All Elite Wrestling. Some of these matches are absolutely incredible. I will get to them, like the world title, Jon Moxley defending against Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston's been pro wrestling's best-kept secret for a very, very long time. I've always said that himself, Bruce Santee, are two of the men in wrestling that never made it right to that final area where, that main stage, the giant, the giant stage, the giant carpet in front of everyone, the red carpet all the way to greatness. But finally, we see Eddie Kingston is getting there, and boy, can that guy cut a promo. My God, he makes me believe that. He believes that wrestling is 100% legitimate and real. I am telling you, the guy is off the chain. That promo between him and Jon Moxley this past Wednesday on Dynamite, absolutely 100% is how you sell a pay-per-view for that weekend. Absolutely incredible. Also, these other matches, we got a dream match for a lot of people. Two of the greatest tag teams. I think probably the two best tag teams right now in the world, and has been for probably the last 4 or 5 years, because they're guys that are real tag teams. They go out there, they look like a team, they act like a team, they travel like a team. They are tag teams, and that is the former Revival, which is FTR now, versus Nick, Matt, Jackson, the Young Bucks, for the AEW Tag Team Championship. Stipulation is, if the Young Bucks do not win the titles tonight, they can never challenge for those belts ever again. My money tonight, storyline-wise, purpose-wise, I have to go with the Young Bucks. They haven't given themselves, a lot of people say, oh, well, they're EVP, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent. They're EVPs. Good for them, And on top of that, though, they haven't booked themselves as the top guys at all. And and they have it. And now if they do win the championships tonight, it'll be their first ever tag team titles with All Elite Wrestling, or any belt for that matter, and that'll be a big win for them. If not, and FTR retain the titles, I'm okay with that too, and only because I trust the booking of Tony Khan and the guys at AEW, as their long-term storytelling is pretty damn good. It reminds me back when I was a young kid, and, there was 4 pay-per-views a year with the WWF. You had Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and they eventually added King of the Ring, and then they started with all the In Your Houses. However, I believe that they do this the right way. They have 4 major pay-per-views a year in AEW. On top of, they do a couple specials, like they did the Bash at the Beach, which was a special Wednesday night thing. They also did the one a few weeks ago, their Fyter Fest. So, yeah, they're just doing wrestling the way it should be done. That a tag team match is going to be absolute gold, and I'm expecting new tag team champions tonight, but we shall see. Also, the 2 finalists in the tournament for the number 1 contender for the AEW Championship coming out of Full Gear tonight. It's Hangman Adam Page squaring off with his former tag team partner and co-champion, Kenny Omega. And this isn't the Kenny Omega you've seen for the last year, the goody two-shoes. No, this is the cleaner. This is New Japan. This is the guy that people fell in love with. We're finally getting to see what the cleaner's all about. And I love the storytelling with this. At the beginning of this whole thing, they made it look like Page was going to the dark side. He was going heel. He was going to be the bad guy. And now it looks like it's turned completely around. He's the guy you feel bad for, being the alcoholic. And then you got Kenny Omega as kind of the douchebag. So I feel it's going to be an incredible singles match. Absolutely. And no, we're not done. No. Cody Rhodes will I said Cody Rhodes, not just Cody, because he is Cody Rhodes once again. WWE finally dropped their bullshit and allows Cody Rhodes to be, Cody Rhodes. I never understood why he did it before, why they did that to him before. It was obviously just Vince, it felt like somebody, maybe one of the Rhodes, pissed all over his Cheerios that morning. Who the hell knows? But either way, I find it absolutely ridiculous that they took a dude's name and, after he left the company, and then they wanted, what if that affected his income, how he put food on the table, you know what I mean? But I know now that's not even an issue. Cody is, by far, I'd say in the top 5 smartest men ever in the game of pro wrestling. He ranks right up there with Jeff Jarrett and guys like that when it comes to business, Kevin Nash, guys like that on a business level. Also, Nyla Rose will go after Shida for the Women's Championship tonight. I don't know what's going to happen. Shida's been an awesome champion. I feel, though, that they're probably going to take the strap off of her, and they might go and put it on Nyla. And then I'm kind of hoping, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm sort of kind of want it to happen. I want Thunder Rosa to come back and go against Nyla Rose and end up taking the championship from her eventually, since she just recently lost the NWA title, women's title, to Serena Deeb, who was fantastic, awesome person, and happy to see her doing great as well. Again, I'm all over the place. This is Pro Wrestling with ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder, and that's one of the things that goes on in this brain, so you guys are here, and I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you understanding what goes on within mental health. I'm going to go over one more quick match. Also, for the pay-per-view, it's going to be Chris Jericho versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And it is a big stipulation. If MJF is able to defeat Chris Jericho tonight, then he is able to join the Inner Circle. These guys have been putting on incredible television for the last however many weeks they've been building this, doing that giant, Broadway musical they did, doing the town hall meeting, or just every time those two are on camera together, the ratings are going up because these guys are pure gold. Jericho has been one of my all-time favorites, of course. It's no secret. And, MJF, I had the privilege of working with him at House of Hardcore when I worked the show up in my hometown. And that was my first meeting with him, and him and I are both douches, so we got along really, really well. He was a respectful kid, and hell of a talent. He's a real pro wrestler, and he's a legitimate bad guy. Like, he's not, I mean, he's just being who he is. I like him, but I'm a dick too, right? So that's why it works out so well. All right, so I want to make that quick. I'm going to tell you how I feel is going to happen. There's two options tonight. There's two options. Oh, by the way, I totally skipped. I got to say this. I skipped Cody Rhodes, Darby Allin, TNT title, third time. Cody's beaten him 2 different times. I know they went to a time limit draw at the first one, perhaps. I know they went to a time limit draw at one of the pay-per-views in 2019. The heavy rumor, the speculation, the rumor is the Icon Sting is going to be brought into AEW. I know they just recently took all of his merchandise off WWE Shop. That's a big indication he's no longer under a Legends deal. I think Sting needs to be out there doing something, and I believe that. I mean, they've had Darby sitting up in the stands like Sting would do back when in WCW, how he would just sit up in the rafters. And so what I feel is going to happen here, people still think Cody Rhodes is the ultimate babyface. However, I truly, honestly feel when he went in there with Brody, something made him turn evil. And right now, he's just a chameleon, and he's clothing himself as a good guy, when in truth, he is going to be bad. I feel tonight, Darby wins the championship, becomes that champion, the TNT television champion, and then I feel is when we're going to see Cody snap. Cody's going to snap, and we're going to see Cody. We're going to see Shawn Spears, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and if the FTR match has already happened, they're going to be out there as well. The 4 horsemen that they've been discussing bringing into AEW is going to happen. We're going to have Cody as the leader of the horsemen, Spears as like the enforcer, the tag team as well of obviously it's FTR, and that's like the Tully and the Arn. And I mean, I don't know who's going to be the enforcer of this, but you get my drift of what I'm saying. I think they're going to be doing the beatdown. They're going to be doing the old beatdown on Darby after Darby takes the belt, lights out. All of a sudden, he's either going to sling out of the audience, or he's going to come just be in the ring when the lights come out back on. Sting's going to be standing there, and we're going to have a Horseman Sting standoff in 2020. That is what I feel. I may be wrong. Sometimes I am. But a lot of times, myself, Katie, when we're watching, I'm so proud of how good she's gotten at making predictions on wrestling events. And, hey, she learned from the best. What do you want? You know what I mean? I was a fan long before I was a wrestler, and I'm a fan long after the fact that I started wrestling. And I'll never say I'm not. I will never say anything of the sort. And, without fans, what are we? And if the day I stop watching wrestling is the day that I'll stop wrestling myself. So that's not going to happen because I'm never going to stop watching it. And I mean, eventually I'm going to have to stop doing it. As we know, I have many, many injuries. But I'm planning for something really big coming up. And you guys will be the first to know on this podcast. I will let it be known what I'm going to do. Okay, AEW, I'm going to put over to the side just for a few minutes. And the reason for that is because I want to go in. Oh, it might not be for a few minutes. I want to say it's going to be it. Because I want you guys to be able to watch this before the Full Gear pay-per-view tonight. So I want to get through stuff I got to get through. I did not mention this at the top of the program, but I want to thank everybody that did check out the interview with Hernandez, Impact star, Supermex Hernandez, that I did. A lot of people gave a lot of compliments, let it know how well they enjoyed it, how much they enjoyed the podcast, and they said it reminded them, they said it just was basically two friends talking to each other about wrestling for other people to hear. And really, that's exactly what it was. So that was a great podcast. Thank you, everyone. I also want to bring this up before I go into the next topic. And the next topic I'm going to speak of and let you know the crazy, unbelievable things that have been going on paranormally and how it's affected Katie and I, our moods, every single little detail of our life, our relationship, and everything this paranormal investigating and the things we're doing has done to us, and what we've done to kind of protect ourselves and things of that nature. Before that, I want to say, since I haven't done a podcast since then, however, I am going to dedicate a full podcast within the week to my friend, a guy that, so sad, the loss of Tracy Smothers. I love Tracy. He was such an awesome person, such a talented, good-hearted, just a sweetheart of a person. And I was texting with Tommy Dreamer the other day, and I know there's a name over here. I'll pick it up. Don't worry about it. Listen, I hate when people name drop too. I was just telling Hulk Hogan that the other day. But truthfully, I was talking with Dreamer, and obviously him and I have been close friends for years, and Tracy was a mutual friend of both of us. So we had a nice talk about Tracy, and I would suggest checking out Tommy's podcast as well, House Hardcore Podcast. He does a beautiful tribute to Tracy, and I had the pleasure of working with Tracy a lot down in Tennessee, and we had our disagreements at times, but we always made up. And the last message that I have from him in my phone said, "I love you, man." That was from him to me, and the last message I sent him was, "Hey, make sure you kick out of there, wild-eyed Southern boy, because you're strong. You're the toughest son of a bitch I know." And that wasn't just me blowing smoke. That's the truth. Tracy Smothers is a tough man. One of the toughest men in pro wrestling. Shoot, bar none. Absolutely. Such a wonderful man. Like I said, I'm going to do a podcast. I've been showing Katie a ton of Tracy Smothers stuff online. Him wrestling the Bear back in like 86. That was the second Bear. The first was in like 82, 83. That's not on YouTube. But we'll get into all that. I got to work with him when I was moved down to Tennessee to work for Chase Stevens in Arcadian Wrestling, and Tracy was on all the events, and he called me gunslinger instead of shooter because he thought I should always have a gun with me because of how my mouth runs off when I'm promoting, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. He's just an amazing man. And Tracy, I know Katie told me too that she believes that you're up there just with a big old smile on your face with your two missing teeth in the front, just listening to all the praise and the love that you have, and I couldn't believe when I read it. I knew he was sick, obviously. I told you I sent the message letting him know to kick out, and cancer's a son of a bitch, but just remember, everybody dies, and I'll always remember him. Every time he'd come in the locker room and say, "Hey, gunslinger, what? Gunslinger, what? Shit, just the stuff. He had so many things, but the main one that he would always say is like, "Hey, man, what's your deal, man? What's your deal, man?" He'd always do that, and that was just his way of saying, "What's up, hey?" But it would pop me every single time, and anybody that knows Tracy will tell you the same, and I'm going to do a whole deal on him sometime. It's going to be much more... not just all over the place, even though that's what this podcast is about. It's not going to be that, because it's going to be, a lot of stories I have from Tracy and how he worked for me for Fight for the Mind too, as well as, of course, working every show Arcadian with him. Also some stuff in Alabama. Like, Godspeed, rest in peace, and I love you, Tracy, and I'll see you down the road for sure. I'll absolutely see you down the road. And I will tell you what's my deal. I'll tell you what my deal is, man. Alright, so anyways, now, I want to jump into this paranormal stuff that's been going on here. There's a video being made. Katie's editing. We did some more video. Obviously, some more paranormal investigating at different spots. We were at... a buddy of ours who also has a little studio apartment, and it was just Katie, myself, and him, and unbelievable. brought out the Spirit Box, which it's the Necrophonic. It's an app on your phone. It is created by paranormal investigators for paranormal investigators. It's the same thing as a Spirit Box that you get that goes, and then you hear a noise, or you hear words, and then this just cuts out all that bullshit. You still hear, gibberish, because there's spirits all over. People don't understand. There's spirits everywhere. Heaven's not just up in the sky. Heaven's everywhere. Spirits are everywhere. Different dimensions are everywhere. There's just so many things that people are unaware of. But nowadays, there's so much more ways to get proof. And that's what I want to let you guys know about. First, Katie and I have, we've been rocky. Having some more arguments than normal. And we thought at first it was the COVID. And, just all the time being with each other, eventually, I can't even imagine having to hang out with me all the time. Holy shit. Give me a break. I would just pray for me to go to bed. If I were her, I would be like, fuck, it's bedtime. Take this, go to bed. Anything. Just here, eat a bunch of sugar and fall the fuck asleep. But, anyways, we just had, it's nothing that's detrimental to her, and nothing's going on negatively. It's not anything in our relationship. We're good. But we had to come to the realization and figure out what it was that was affecting us. So I'm not going to tell you where all the places we were for the investigations that we've done recently. But we were at our buddy's little studio. It was the three of us. And you're going to hear this, not in this video. It's going to be on the video because I want you guys to tune in, because it is legitimately 100% the best paranormal evidence that has ever been caught on camera. I don't think just by us. I'm talking about by, you name it. It's absolutely, anybody that's done this will listen to this and absolutely just their mind will just be fucking blown, okay? And I'm going to tell you what the first thing was. We had the Spirit Box going, okay? And, please hold. We didn't start the Spirit Box yet. I always say at the beginning, they're not allowed to attach themselves to us, anything that we have, any of our equipment, anything at all that has anything to do with us or us. You are banned from coming anywhere near us. We do come in the name of Jesus Christ with a white light around me. Amen. So, amen. My buddy, amen. Katie, amen. Disassembled voice, amen. A fourth voice. No Spirit Box on. Literally a fourth voice. And there was nobody around. Now, I thought that was incredible. The greatest. I was like, and I didn't hear it then. Of course, we didn't hear it until we played back the video. That's where we end up with finding our evidence. So, I'm sorry if I'm chewing gum really loud. I'm excited to tell this story. I'm excited to tell you a little bit about what's going on, with myself in Atlantis. So, we thought that was incredible. So we decided, we're going to take a break and go grab some water, head to the gym, do our stuff that we do. So, we do it. Come back, start listening again. I have one of those little JBL speaker deals that, you hit the Bluetooth to it, connect it, and it's good to go. All right. So let me tell you, listening through, we do have the Spirit Box on at this point, okay? So we hear, a lot of talk in here and there. So you clearly, Katie has the camera. She has the new iPhone camera, which we tape with like 4 or 5 different things, right? So that way we get everything. And I had the Necrophonic on one of my phones. I was recording with another phone. So, and then we had, of course, we had our actual camera, Canon camera, and then our RCA. So, anyhow, we got that going. At one point, she says something, and my buddy's laughing because he's just laughing because he's I think he was nervous, so he was laughing. Anyways, I say, what's your name? And within 0.1 seconds, right next to Katie's ear, so loud and clear, so vivid, what's your name? Nobody was there. Nobody was there. It is, when you guys hear this, you're either gonna pee yourself, you might just pee, you might be like, I tell you, the hair on the back of my neck stood up so much. And I'm a firm believer. I was a skeptic years ago, but I'm a firm believer. And this right here made it even more insane. Absolutely fucking sane. And so it said, what's your name? And I didn't, of course, hear that till we listened back later. And it is unbelievable that came out. So we also have an SLS, which is, I don't know if you've seen it, where it'll only pick up body pictures of a human body or whatever. So, like, if I'm standing there, I come up as a stick figure, you know what I mean? Like the 4 limbs and a head, right? Like you're playing Hangman or whatever. So, anyhow, we're back into our apartment, and we said, okay, let's give this a try. So we also had the Obulus going. The Obulus, I don't know if you know what that is. It spits out words through a word bank that it hears coming from the other dimensions, the other side. And Katie she just came in the door, so she took her shoes off. And the Obulus came up and said, shoes. Okay, so that right there was just very strange. Very strange. Can I say it meant anything? I don't know, but I can't really debunk that either, because it says things, and I'm not going to tell you everything that it said, because it said some other stuff that was very relevant to the scenario. But back to this SLS. So you hold it, and you work around with it, and this is, you have to know how to use these things. This is something that we have, studied and studied and studied and studied. And it's something that we're very good at, and we're very good at getting answers and answers. Even if we have to dig into it, we're going to find out something about something. So we have this thing. We ended up, there is 3 anomalies in our little apartment. They are clear 3 stick figures besides her and I. It's heavy. Very heavy in here. We don't know if we brought something back from somewhere, if it attached, or if it's always been here, as this is an older place that has had suicides, overdoses, you name it, at it. It's in not a bad area at all. It's a very nice place. It's just very crazy history and a lot of history. So we don't know if it's something that, when we're at another location, if we brought it with us, if we didn't realize, we don't know. But the energy was very, very, very negative. So her and I decided, and it was kind of her idea. She did a lot of research, and I said, yeah, that sounds good. So we went and we got sage, white sage, and we've been going through and cleansing every day. Like, I look over, I'm like, hey, Puff the Magic Dragon, settle down. Like, she's fucking gonna burn the place down. But she is, really wants to get rid of the negative energy, because, her and I have our fights, but it just doesn't get bad typically. But this place was just so heavy. It was like we didn't even hear each other. It's just so much negative energy. And it seems like now that she's been saging, the white sage, it seems like things have calmed down quite a bit when it comes to that. We've been getting along just fine. Everything's back to normal. But wanted to let you guys know a little bit about what's been going on with the paranormal stuff, let you know what's going on tonight with AEW Full Gear, let you know what's going on, that we got a new president of the United States, even though it is not 100% official. Goddamn, it's 100% official. So Trump, I'm not a big political guy, but I just think you're an idiot. And the fact that you tried to pull a storyline out of this election, the first person ever to try to pull some gimmick to try to, get Biden disqualified so you still walk away champion. Come on, man. What a work. So congratulations to Joe Biden. I hope he does something for this COVID, and, because obviously the other one didn't. I'm not a political guy. I don't want to argue with anybody about politics. Don't comment politic bullshit because I don't care. I just think Donald Trump's an idiot. That's it. And that's basically my feelings on that. But just wanted to, give you guys, it's about a half hour, right? So I hope you guys did enjoy the podcast. Now that this negative energy is out, I'm going to start, for sure, doing much more podcasting. Her and I are going to, getting ready to do a documentary, actually, which is going to be really cool. It's going to be our lives with, professional wrestling, with paranormal investigating. We got new t-shirts coming. You can go to prowrestlingtees.com/Team Sexy. That's with 3 X's, like triple X. You can buy the t-shirt that's up right now is the Storm 315 shirt. Atlantis has my ass. It says on the back. You can pick one up. It's $20. Christmas is coming up. That'd be a cool gift for the wrestling fan in your family. The Shooter Storm and Atlantis fans in your family, whatever. It's just a cool shirt. It's basically just like the old Austin 316, except it's Storm 315, as our area code is 315. So there's that. We also got more t-shirts coming. We got a cool looking Ghostbuster-ish type shirt that she has made. We got a lot of cool things coming, guys. Our lives about to change, humongously for the better. It was supposed to be a few months ago, and everything got put on hold because of COVID and because of Donald Trump trying to, go to Jack Tunney and say that the decision should be overruled. Gorilla Monsoon told him to get the hell out. So, yeah, none of that. So, anyways, just want to let you guys make sure to know, if you have not yet ordered, make sure to order tonight. AEW Full Gear. It's on. I got mine through BN Sports or BL Sport, whatever. I can't remember. It's B something Sports. Oh, BR Sports. It's Bleacher Report. Bing. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you so very much for listening to this podcast today. I want to thank you for the continued support. You can also support us on a very cheap fashion, not having to, you don't have to. Obviously, you don't have to. Just appreciate it, as we are a self-funded channel. So you can do so, though, via Patreon. That's together, or patreon.com/together with ADHD. You'll get different perks, 8x10s, different things like that for the different tiers. You'll see it all there. It goes from curtain jerking to main event. You can pick whatever one it is. You can help support us for as low as $5 per month. Also, you guys don't understand. If you don't understand, please, if you just smash the like button right down below, and hit the bell icon, so you're notified every time a new video of ours is going to pop up, which is going to be very, very frequently now that things are getting back to normal. And you guys aren't going to want to miss that paranormal thing. I am telling you right now, any doubt in your minds that you had, unless you're just a complete asshole that just will try to debunk anything, and no matter what people say, you don't believe it, that's on you. But I'm telling you, it's absolutely the most incredible paranormal evidence that I've seen caught anywhere. That's the truth. I can't express it anymore. But anyways, yeah, if you guys just hit the like button, comment something nice. You don't have to comment anything, but just hit the like button, and that does so much for the analytics. It's a tough time right now, obviously, for everybody with COVID. Doesn't cost you anything except 1 second of your existence to click the like button and just help out, as it's tough. Pro wrestlers trying to make money right now. Obviously, there's no indie dates that much around. Not a lot of traveling like there once was. The wrestling school had to be closed down because during this, because there can be no contact. So everything's about going to get turned back around, and it's going to be sooner than later. But, I pray for everybody out there. I hope everybody's doing well, mentally, financially, spiritually, anyway. Again, we suffer from mental health, so I'm going to come on here at times, and if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to talk to you guys, and maybe I can help somebody through what what we go through, maybe try to help you guys by listening to me, talk about it or whatnot. But anyways, I am going to shut the F up now. Going to get ready, going to cuddle up with the lady and watch some Full Gear, AEW, All Elite Wrestling. It's going to be a barn burner tonight, guys. Anyhow, until next time, make sure that you chase your dreams. And when you catch those dreams, run to the end zone. Follow your dreams, guys.